to.
Okay.
Isn't this interesting? Welcome to our little LA setup. I'm gonna put everything on Do Not Disturb, but I need to be like aware at the same damn time.
I know, I have like this computer in front of me. I feel real professional right now.
You're not gonna use your headphones?
Oh, I forgot, because girl, you know I'm used to not having the
that's
headphones.
true. You're not used to it.
I have to hear
This
myself.
is our little LA location. We have a today's a special day for so many reasons. This is our second season. Guys, if you'll hear a little, I gotta open this snap. I'm sorry. It just has to happen.
So it's season 2, episode 1. We're back. Girl, just open it. Just
Hold
open
on.
it.
It's gonna just be really loud, y'all. Give me 1 second.
It sounds distant. So.
Okay, good.
What is that?
But for those who don't know or just tuning into our podcast, this is Two Cents Later.
Yep.
And I'm Brittany.
And I'm Zulema.
And I'm just so happy to be back. I've been like craving this moment. Like, I've been so excited. I feel like so much life has happened where we're gonna have so much to talk about. We have so many guests set up for this season.
We do.
We have a guest today coming out.
Wait, how do we do the sound? Ooh.
Yo, we got a guest coming today. And when I mean, I'm super excited about this guest. It's mind-blowing. Like, I just had to woosah. That's why I'm eating my little snack that I got here, because it's gonna help me woosah. It's gonna help me. But
Major woosah.
Major woosah. But girl,
I feel like
Happy New Year,
right? I feel like we haven't seen each other in a long time.
no, I feel like you were
you were away, girl.
Yeah, you came back.
Yeah.
But you were away for a long time,
Yes,
and then we
yes.
just only saw each other that one episode back that we did, really.
That was in December?
That was like right after Christmas. I don't even think New Year happened yet.
That's
so
true. So I haven't seen you since
yeah,
last
so
year,
and
girl.
then so Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. At what point do we stop saying Happy New Year though?
I don't know.
It don't matter.
Hey, the year's still new.
It'll be
And
June.
I'm still happy
New
about this,
Year.
especially today. I'm super happy, y'all.
So what's been new? Tell me. Tell me. How was your trip?
So I went to New York, and honestly, I can say to you, I don't miss anything but my friends and family. Honest to God, like it was almost like I had to ask everyone, like, "Are you okay?" Because to live in this consciously is kind of like insane for me. I just feel like if you have the choice to be somewhere else that's warmer, that's just more of a vibe, that's just more just like I don't have to be in a tundra. One day was literally like -7 degrees. It was,
thank you.
Yeah, no, it was literally bad. And my dad was like, the heat is on. And I'm like, not enough. There's nothing that you can do to like warm me up. Do you plan on going to New York anytime soon?
I actually have plans to go to New York in March because my friend's having a baby shower.
Okay.
And then I have to go back to the East Coast for the wedding.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so there's 2. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to the baby shower just yet. I really want to be there, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's kind of soon, so.
Honestly, I can say I felt like I was in a snow globe. Like,
it looks like a snow globe.
Yeah, but even just like the size of everything, it just was so small. Like,
did your perspective change? Like, you know, when you're gone for a long time, you're like, well, this is weird, or this is new, or this is a new development, or why are they doing that? Like,
I think that I am very spoiled living in California. That's what I got from it. I think that a lot of things that I thought I would miss as much were not worth the compromise of living here.
Right.
I thought it just felt like a blast from the past in a sense, but there were plenty of things like over in Middletown that were super cute. Like I went to this restaurant called Oak and Reed for my friend's birthday.
Okay.
It was a super cute restaurant that they love out there. It was the food was great, drinks were great. And it was just good to catch up because, you know, like, I just miss her so much. You know, it was just such a blast to just be with like my really close friends and family. It was so good. But other than that, I didn't really. I was in Brooklyn one night for like a comedy show. It was like a 420 comedy show. I was
like, that is definitely not Middletown.
Yeah, no. That was definitely Brooklyn. I was there, and then I did Dee's party, and then after that, I was home. Like I was kind of like the time. I was a little jet lagged from like the time difference. So I was waking up pretty late throughout the day, and kind of was just like, I kind of want to just like, it's cold, so I took like Saturday to just kind of like just cozy up, eat junk, a bunch of BS, and just chill with my dad. He got me a bottle of tequila, and we watched football and had a good night, you know. So then I was on that thing, that first thing smoking Sunday morning, out of here.
Sunday morning smoke.
Bye. It was literally 60 degrees warmer at night than it was during the day in New York. But it was so good seeing everybody, and I just felt the love. That was the only thing that kept me warm in New York.
Yeah,
was the love of my friends and family. But other than that, I literally was ready to go.
I feel like that's the only thing I really miss is like the people.
Yeah, that's it. Just come, but baby, won't you come my way?
Right, like when you guys are.
Yeah, just come this way. Hopefully, people really come out for my birthday. But you know, I have a whole like itinerary set up for my birthday.
Oh, I know, girl.
Yeah, we're going to Joshua Tree.
Okay.
We're roller skating. We're doing a lot.
So
but
basically, everybody better come with roller skates.
Or you can rent the work. We go to a rink, like a really cool rink, and you know, just if you have skates, you have them. If you don't, rent them for $7. You know. Yeah. And I think it's gonna be a good time, and you know, get some cute dinner somewhere. And Miss Castaway, like, remember?
Oh my God, the Brussels sprouts.
Yo, those Brussels sprouts were A1. So, you know, as much as I really want to do Nobu, I think I might do that with Kashif, and then like do Castaway Girls. Like,
yeah, because it's so cute. Like you're overlooking, like you're in the mountain, you're overlooking LA.
Yes, I'm so excited. I think it's like, but I definitely want to try to get there before like sunset and really just like see.
No, you're right. Because we always go at night.
We always go at night, but it's such a vibe at night too. It just feels like you feel like someone's just like toasting somewhere with a little knife, little butter knife, you know, little ting ting ting. Yeah, exactly.
I have an announcement.
My dog just turned 4.
We're here today to celebrate Ruby.
So yeah, that's really.
I do feel like people in LA just celebrate everything. You know, so dog's birthday.
Dog's birthday is definitely something to celebrate. Yeah, Castaway.
And I feel like it's like a pink dog, like a pink fluffy dog, and she has a tutu on.
Yeah, and she actually hates this entire situation. She's like, I just want a burger from In-N-Out.
I didn't ask for this.
This steak. But we're gonna keep this short and kind of sweet today. Let's do a 2 cents topic while we wait for our guest to get here, because he shall be here soon.
Well, what's your 2 cents topic? What do you got?
Okay.
What have you gathered between seasons?
No. So yes, okay. Since we're keeping it light and sweet, because we had something super heavy, I am so tired of Groovy Gorilla and his big ass dancing everywhere.
On the airplane.
And in and out. Like, honestly, if I was getting my food and I see this big, massive man doing this, I'd be like, can you stop?
I think he thinks he's really killing it, but it's actually really freaking cringy.
It's actually really aggressive.
It's like
and it's just like a lot of like motion. But I think that's like the whole like TikTok era. Like they think that they're dancing, but they're actually just doing a lot of like random motions that just.
I only see what people post, but I'm just like, this guy's actually really freaking cringy.
Yeah.
Like, I wish he would stop. And he's just too massive. He's just a massive guy that shouldn't be whatever. Do what you do, gorilla boo boo. But
I know, but just not out. I feel like he's out here somewhere, and I feel like there's gonna be a day because I run into like the most random things.
You would run into him in like the supermarket.
Yeah, 100%. Seeing
doing
him
a skit
right in Burbank Walmart, like I put that in the universe. Watch it happen. I'm telling you. Then you're gonna see me. Watch me and Groovy Gorilla be doing a reel together. Me on skates. Like, can you actually stop? And he's like, no.
It's just a lot.
It is. It's a whole lot of man. It's a whole lot of man. But
too much going on.
Other than that, like I get him. Like I see the genuine happiness in his face while he's doing these dance moves.
I wonder how long he's been doing this though, before it actually like caught on. Like, you know what I mean?
See, here's the thing for me is that if I was to see him like in the gym doing that, I would actually be more pissed off because I'm a very like, can we not kind of person. Like, I remember one time I was in Walmart and I'm like checking out this massive order, and every time like somebody, I guess, gives them a rating on self-checkout, they're ringing this cowbell. And so I'm thinking I'm bugging at first, like, is this like actually happening? And so I like pulled another one to the side, like, hey, so like, why is he doing that? And then he was like, because every time we get a rating, we get it, he rings the bell.
Okay.
And I was like, that's actually not necessary. Can you tell him to stop? And then the guy was like looking at me like, I don't help with anything else in this store, but you want to ring a cowbell. Do we have time? Do you want to do your 2-cent topic? Because our guest just got here and we might have to switch our cameras around. And
We do. So we just keep this rolling?
Yeah, keep it rolling and then we'll cut and screw it.
Okay.
Yo, welcome.
That's all good.
In my car.
I was actually going to see if this
Hi, I'm
was you.
Julie.
Reason, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you said you were what?
I was actually going to ask you, my first facts or cap question for you was, is this you or your brother sitting here?
Nah, that's definitely me.
Wait, you're a twin?
Yeah, I'm a twin.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. He's a twin. Yes.
How would we ever know though?
I mean, you wouldn't necessarily, but
Are you guys like identical? Like,
we're not, but we look a lot alike. But I feel like everybody, like when they've been around us like 3 or 4 times, then we don't look at all alike.
I personally don't think you guys look anything
Yeah,
alike.
I don't personally feel that way. I feel like we look like brothers. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that get confused anyway.
At your birthday party, you guys like side by side. I was like, wow, you could really see a lot of see the difference. Who's older between the two of you?
I am by 2 minutes, but he acts like he's older than
I can. It's always like that. I have twins, so
Mhm.
it's just like I can kind of like. I was like, for some reason, I know you were born first, but like it's always like that.
Yeah.
But guys, I'm super excited to introduce our guest here today. Like, how do I start this? Because this is like actually like really big for me. I don't know if you remember when we met at Brunch to Baham.
I do. I was drunk, but I remember.
I was drunk as hell. Like it wasn't even like. I think like that like caught me off guard because I was so sauce. Like I literally was like, yeah, I know you fucking lying. I know you fucking lying. Like this ain't who I think it is right in front of me. Y'all know I'm huge. Before I even moved out here, West Coast rap, West Coast everything has kind of been like my thing. I was driving the other day, I was thinking like, yo, damn, B2K was like my first favorite group that I was like obsessed with. That's even a West Coast group right there, if you really think about it.
I know that B2K was West Coast.
Yeah, yo, like y'all gotta put some respect on Lil Fizz bars a little bit because he got a song where he basically like I'll be driving around, he'll be like, we were on Colfax, and then he'll be like 2 meals at Pizza Guys, no rides to Roscoe, we made our own sunrise. Like, yeah, like so I now being out here and I'm like seeing Colfax and well, used to be obsessed with Roscoe's and getting the sunrise. Like, I know what he's talking about and stuff like that. But, yo, like, one of my favorite, I would say right now, most active, top 5 West Coast rappers. I stumbled on his music and literally couldn't put it down. Y'all, He is straight out of Carson, Delamo. Y'all, it's Reason here with us sitting here. I've been so excited for this. Welcome to the little.
That's
No.
We don't know what we're doing.
We put this studio because we normally film down in Irvine by me.
Okay, gotcha.
And we know it was a little school, but I was not passing this up. Like this, before anything, for the podcast, just for me as a fan, this is really, really big for me. And I genuinely appreciate you for doing this so much. Yeah, she was looking, when I told her, I was like, nah, he about to come on the podcast. She was like, wait, are you sick? I was like, yeah, no, we doing this Monday. Like, I don't care what we got planned. It's all of that. We out of here. We're gonna figure this out. But yeah, no.
You're making the drive because I know, especially in the morning, I know that drive is sick.
It was literally a monster.
Yeah,
With that, let's get started with our first. I want to do a little this or that with you as a little icebreaker. So it'll be this or that via New York or LA. So, because we're both from New York, and we're just, I'm going on 2 years. She's going on her 3rd year here, and I just came back from New York. You just came back from New York. How was your trip?
I love New York, so any excuse I get to go to New York like that. New York and Atlanta are like my 2 favorite cities outside of LA, of course.
Okay.
So yeah, my trip was good. I was just out there working, but like I said, I just love New York and doing like typical New York shit. Like I only eat at corner stores and shit like that.
Okay.
Like,
I think I saw in your story you had some sloppy ass sandwich on there.
Shit that I literally should not be eating.
Nah, your cholesterol's gonna be through the roof.
I probably took like 3 years off my life.
That's okay.
It's cheap too. Like
and it's good. Like it's like good food. Like it's crazy. Like I wish we had that in LA.
Yeah.
That's what I miss, the bodegas.
Yes.
That's my favorite. That's like my favorite thing to do in New York.
I remember I was talking to like my friends and I was like, yo, remember like how we used to stretch $1 as a kid, like get a nasty ass nutty 50-cent soda, sunflower seeds, and a little Debbie cake and call it a day. And then if you got me and my cousin used to rock out, so we would split our little $2 and be balling. But so this or that, we all was in it this morning. NY traffic or LA traffic, which is the worst?
NY traffic is worse.
I think so too.
Really? Like, it's not even. I don't even think it's because that's the thing. Like LA does have traffic, but like NY, it'll literally take you 25 minutes to get a mile and a half.
This is a fact.
Like it's even worse. And then on top of that, like y'all don't care about like people's lives.
I have to argue that though because I feel like in LA people like just walk out the house like they have nothing to lose. Like they just go from one lane to the other.
I drive like
LA's driving is aggressive like New York, but I'm talking about like pedestrians. Like I've legitimately seen like
that's a fact. Because what's the whole? First of all,
they don't care about.
If the light is green, why can Shorty still walk this way? Like she should not be able to walk, man. Like this, I need to go. Like there's things we gotta do. Yeah. We make that right turn when it's time to go. It's time to go.
Y'all just go.
Yo,
like,
we go.
Like,
you're
either gonna be in the way or out.
And the road rage out here, like my road rage, I literally had to check myself mad times. Like I'm cursing, like what the fuck are you? What are you doing? Like, and I said, but y'all take speed out here to a different
level. That's what I'm about to say. Out here, it's just faster. Like everybody drives really, really fast, but it's almost because you can't drive fast. In New York. Like you know,
you can't. It's too gridlocked.
It's too gridlocked.
Yeah,
like, you can't drive fast in New York, so it's like.
And we got more lanes out here.
Yeah,
we have way more lanes. But I did see a dude fly off his motorcycle, and I say, yo. You so lucky that people out here know how to maneuver through that shit because it could have been bad. New York, y'all kept going. It would have been bad.
Somebody else would be mad at him for being in the way.
On Snapchat, look at this dumbass. That's what it would have been. Easy, you know what I mean? So, okay, would you do tacos out here or New York pizza?
Tacos.
Oh, I was gonna ask you the same thing, right? Tacos.
Yeah, that's one of the things that would stop me from moving away from LA. It's like Mexican food. Like that's like my favorite food, and it's no better place in LA for Mexican.
Don't I say that all the time?
Even close. Yeah, I remember I was in Detroit on tour, and because I love Mexican food. I'm not thinking about it though. Like I just saw Mexican food. I'm like, I want to go to this Mexican. It was awful. Like, and that's like when I started realizing like. There is no place, on tour was when I started realizing there is no place where you can get Mexican food. The closest is probably Texas.
Yeah,
Like,
well, but even my brother just moved out there, and
even Texas isn't like this.
And their barbecue stuff, like my mom and stuff visited. Yeah, that was free. Sorry.
Thank you.
My mom and stuff visited, and she was like, the barbecue out there is overrated, and it's like they don't season the food; they really cook it with the smoke and stuff like that. But I will say, because I live like further south, like towards like in between the San Diego, the closer it gets even better. Like
if you go to San Diego, it's even better. Like it's crazy.
It's like ridiculous because I get Mexican food out here and then when I go down like Newport, Irvine, I'm like, we got it on y'all. Look, because we're close to Santa Ana, you know what I mean? And Santa Ana is really like heavy in it, But what else? Do you have any this or that questions? Because I have a few more. I could keep rolling on.
New York fashion or LA fashion?
Oh, New York.
Yeah, that's
New York.
I feel like New York, just like in general, like the way that you are about the West Coast. That's how I grew up on New York. Like I just like all my favorite rappers was from New York.
Okay.
Like I get killed in LA because I'm like Biggie over Pac. Yeah. Like
I was gonna ask you that,
like,
and I'm the other way around.
Yeah, I like Pac as a person more than Biggie, but if I'm just talking strictly music, I like Biggie. Like so, everything in my life was pretty much like I was obsessed with like New York culture, fashion. You get what I'm saying? The city and everything. Like. As I was coming up, so it's literally like the opposite.
Yeah, I literally thought I was I wanted to be Moesha. Like I wanted to like go to, like I wanted to like just be walking down the street with palm trees, even if I'm in the hood. Like I always said, like if I was born 10 years earlier, I love Pac, but I feel like I would be married to like Ice Cube. Like I love Ice Cube. Like Ice Cube's one of my favorite rappers. NWA, and I always like Eazy-E is. I always put Eazy-E in there, but it's like that's saying Ice Cube for me.
Basically.
And I just always just like before I even lived out here, I was coming out here like every year, a couple of times a year. Like I got pictures back from like 2013 with some dude on Hollywood Boulevard giving us LA hood tours, talking about he the game step pops and shit, like just funny. Like crazy shit, So like. Yeah, it's very much the opposite. I was super obsessed with like West Coast, everything. I just would look and like I would go and look at shit from Moesha and like be here now, like yo, like this is really like real. Like this is all like everything that I saw. Like so, it's just like so crazy how that shit manifested. But what LA fashion? You did LA fashion over New York fashion. We did the Pac and you Pac over Biggie over Pac for you.
Yeah, music wise. But I love like Pac as a person. Like I feel like if Pac was still alive, he'd be like one of the most important like human beings to the black culture. Like I feel like even now he is still one. You know what I mean? But I feel like if he was still alive, like the things that he could have done, you know what I mean?
He sprinkled in a lot
for sure. It's like his legacy is still like living on and walking around. You know what I mean? But he's definitely similar to Nip, like one of them people that just taken way too soon because we need it. We still need them as much as like people always say like they still live on and all of that is true. But it's like the work that these people like did while they were alive, like we needed that for another 30 years. You know what I mean? Another 40 years or whatever. So yeah. But music wise, I'm going Biggie. Music wise.
So would you do Death Row or Bad Boy?
That's tough. That's really tough. I go Death Row. I go Death Row with that. Yeah, I'll go Death Row with that.
You have to. I had one more. It was NWA or Wu-Tang.
Oh, NWA. Yeah, NWA. Yeah, that's NWA for me. That's like so. It's funny. Like I said, I didn't really grow up on like loving a lot of West Coast rap, but NWA was like the only. Staple. That was like the only West Coast rap that like I pretty much listened to. You know what I mean? Like. For the entirety of my childhood, and then everything else was New York. So yeah.
That's interesting to me because usually people that I meet from LA, they're very much LA, and they won't go anywhere.
I get killed for it all the time. That's part of the reason, like why the Fabulous and the Andre thing came up.
Oh my
because Fab is one of my favorite.
I'm like the people sending it to me. I'm like, yo, hold on. I gotta listen to him. Hold him out. Hear him out.
Fab is one of my favorite. Like that's what I'm saying. Like all of my favorite rappers came from, you know what I mean, like New York. Like and with the exception of probably Wayne, but even Wayne, a lot of his influences was New York. Like Wayne, like was rapping. You know what I mean. Like as far as like lyrically. he was rapping like a New York nigga, like lyrically. Now style wise, he was still, you know, he sounded very Southern and whatnot, but like New York was the bars, the punchlines, the metaphors, and all that. Like that's what it was for New York. It was lyrics first, production second. You know what I mean? LA's always been production and vibe first, lyrics second. That's how it kind of goes. And so I just kind of fell in love with the lyric part of it.
I think that's why Lil Wayne was like huge in high school for us. Like he was just like, it was like,
he was the biggest thing on the planet.
And being like getting into like that MySpace era and stuff like that, when you start putting captions under shit and stuff like that, and him having the bars and shit that you want to put under your pictures and stuff, it was just kind of like, that's where it started. Like, because not many, you can't really think of like many rappers before like a Fab, Lil Wayne and stuff like that, that people were really using as like captions to like shit on niggas and you know what I mean? So like, I just feel like they kind of like set the groundwork for that whole, what we taking from the songs to like, to like, you know, like you got what was it? There was something happening. I was like, hoes always say they best friends. Yeah, right. Like that's like one shit like that. Like you use this. We get in that. We're in that time frame where it's just kind of like you're using that shit as captions. Like you know. So I really think Fab, Wayne. Who else would you say? I really feel like that 2000 era really started.
Yeah, it was like Fab, Wayne, Hove, of course. Jewels was really big at that time. Cam, the whole Dipset. Like I was a Dipset. I was one of the people that like for the verses, like I was sick because like I was like nigga Dipset over Locks. Like I was over there.
We really like shot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah,
I think that's as a generation.
That verses like I didn't know that it was gonna go that way with like them just being able to rock out with Jada. Like I'm like, this is like almost unfair. Like you know what I mean?
Yo,
like,
every time I feel I'm in my bag, I be like, this is my move for the year. I just put Jada with the Carmelo jersey on.
I'm not gonna lie, Jada really like I always been a Jada fan, but I didn't realize Jada was like that until like the Fab and Jada verses, and then the Locks where I'm like, yo, this nigga really crazy. Like some people's catalog you just don't.
You can't
really. You don't recognize it until you go back and you like, yo, they really got joints.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You can't sleep on this shit.
Yeah,
but that's why I feel like that's how I kind of feel about T.I.
Like,
T.I.'s like
he's another
people that people like.
Missy's another one of those people. Like I just went through Missy's catalog.
I was like saying we need a Missy versus like
for sure.
The only person, there's not many people that can like.
That's what I'm saying though. It's like when you say Missy, a lot of people will be like, oh, like we can find a Missy versus, but then when you start going through a catalog, you like, yo, it ain't too many people that like.
They always try to do Busta with her.
Yeah.
But I feel like Missy got too much of a pen when it comes to like Aaliyah records. When it comes to like, there's so many things that Missy can really go in.
For sure.
She got a goddamn song that on Bebo, a goddamn kid cartoon that's booming right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit go off. You get not many people that can really like step in that bag. But I got a few facts or cap questions for you, and then we're gonna get into a couple of things that I just want to like pick your brain on.
Okay.
First, is Kendrick Lamar and King Los the same person?
What? No, they're not the same person. Shout out to Los though. I was just with Los. But no, they're not the same person.
So that's facts or cap.
That's cap.
Okay. Clubhouse, there was a whole argument. There was a guy on Clubhouse arguing Los down. Him and Kendrick Lamar were the same person. Like, yo, Los had to like put up a picture of him and Kendrick together. It's like, yo, we're different heights. Like we're the different people. Everything, you know. Do you have the
No, I don't have the same thing you do.
What else? What was the other one? In-N-Out is the most overrated restaurant in California.
In-N-Out is incredible. What? In-N-Out is incredible. Like, incredible. I'm like an In-N-Out stan. Like,
really? I was like that before I moved there.
You were. I
literally would eat that style all the time. Like, and I think maybe like, but see, I'm this type of person, like, once I like something, it's like, I'm going there all the fucking time.
Like, if you eat In-N-Out all the time, then like, you're gonna get burnt out on it.
Yeah.
In-N-Out to me, like, is like, and it's the only burger I can eat where I don't feel like disgusted.
Gross,
after I eat the burger. Like,
that's
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel just disgusted like I ate some bullshit after I eat In-N-Out. But yeah, so that's cap.
Okay. I guess. You want to know what's crazy? Out here, yo, on the East Coast, Chick-fil-A, it should be out the door, yo. Like, out the door. But out here, people like, I guess.
I think, I don't know. I feel like it's because there's so many Chick-fil-A's out here. Like, there's a lot of Chick-fil-A's, yeah. But their line still is crazy. But it's not like In-N-Out. In-N-Out's line is ridiculous. Every time you go.
It's not really in and out.
Yeah. It's not in and out. Yeah.
At all.
It's not in and out at all. You're going to be there for a minute.
The fact that you got to have 9 people with 7 iPads up on the line is like actually ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
Do you think that LA is a better place to network now than New York is?
That's a great question. I'd say yeah, only because of how many people move to LA. But they are different. Like New York is still the hub of media. It's still the hub of PR. Like if you're an artist, you have to go to New York to do a press run.
Right.
Your press run in LA is not going to be as beneficial as your press in New York.
That's what I found you through, like Joe's podcast.
Yeah,
exactly. It literally was just like, yo, like,
which is crazy because that wasn't even supposed to be press. That was me just pulling up.
No, I'm literally a podcast junkie. Like I listen to like podcasts maybe like 9, like most of this. I listen to music, but I'm very stuck in like the people that I listen to. Your shit, who YG's like one of you know how I feel about YG. Like but podcasts, like I really got heavy into his podcast, and that's where I literally found your music, got down a rabbit hole, and it was up from there. Like I was like, yo, and then at TDE, it all makes sense. Like, okay, that all adds up, you know.
Yeah,
so,
shout out to Joe.
Yo, it just definitely was an episode that, as much as he can be very controversial, he does bring a lot of light to a lot of artists and great music. So
yeah, for sure.
That's a fact. But let's get into some of these questions because I'm a fan, so I kind of know, so it's different. But for those who don't know, before you were doing rap, because you've been doing this fairly short compared
in comparison to other people,
but you're actually a lot nicer than a lot of people.
I appreciate
so
that.
It's like it feels like when I'm listening to your music, it's almost like I like stuff that paints a picture in my head. I'm a very visual person. So when I feel like I'm in somebody's diary entry, it just feels super dope to listen to. Gotcha. So, what were you doing before this though? Because you wasn't.
Before music, I was playing basketball. That's what I thought I was going to do for the rest of my life. I thought I'd play basketball overseas and then end up coaching and just, my whole entire life be revolved around sports. That's all it was about. My brother is still a football coach. So he used to play football, I played basketball.
I was going to ask that. That's pretty dope. So they said 120, you take this one, you take that one.
Exactly. And I really felt like our lives were going to like go the same route, you know what I mean? And then literally I was in college and living in Iowa and going through just like a bunch of like racial shit out there, like with my coach and dealing with, identity issues because I'm around all these white people and they expect me to act this way. And so now I'm trying to act different to fit in, but then I went to this rebellious thing where I'm like, I'm gonna be overly black because like, fuck it, I am who I am. And that's not even really me also, you know what I mean? And so, but while doing that, I had a MacBook and I just started just recording freestyles because I was bored. Everything closed super early out there. And so I was bored. It wasn't even no clubs. Like literally the gas stations would close at 8. Like if you don't have...
I drove through. We both drove cross country over here. So I drove through them corn.
Everything is closed. And so for me...
And they looking at you like, what the fuck are you doing
crazy,
here?
You know what I mean? And so I started doing freestyles just to like fuck around or whatever. And then, my homies were like, yo, you kind of nice at this or whatever. And so I started writing music and like songs. And then the first song I wrote, I felt so good after writing the song because I don't really talk about my issues that was like my way to like get my shit off.
It's poetry nonetheless.
Exactly. And it was therapeutical. And so I wrote that song, wrote like 6 more. And I was just like, damn, I really like this. And then, going through my career, I had an opportunity to go play overseas. I got back to LA and I was just like, I don't want to do it. First, I delayed it for 6 months. And I was like, I just want to do this for 6 months and see how I feel. And if not, then I'll go overseas after that. And the joy I got from it, I was just like, you know what, I'm done playing basketball. And so that was like around like 2015-ish, like 2000, like end of 2014, 2015.
But that's the whole thing. It's just like a lot of like my favorite artists.
Yeah.
I just see it as poetry. Like I said, it feels like a diary entry. It feels like I'm reading something that it's visual art to me. It's audio art, you know? So it literally is audio art because it's like, I can sit back and I can listen to, let me think of a song, Colored Dreams. And it's just like, damn, like you literally are sitting there with you, like, okay, you're writing the perspective of somebody else, but at the same time, it's just like, damn, you feel like I'm here with you. I can see where you are mentally. I can see the pain in this. I can feel how much this may be impacting the person who that this may really be resonating with, you know? So, I think that is just like my favorite thing about like lyrical artists. Are you familiar with Oswin Benjamin?
Yeah, that's my dog.
He's a hometown hero.
So his cousin is Naj, and so Naj were really, really close. Rest in peace.
Parties from Party, all of them. They're all from the same area. Oswin, Naj, all super duper lyrical. You know what I mean?
Super rap niggas.
Those are all like that's the type of rap that I prefer listening to. You know what I mean? So I had a question. Who would you think that people who listen to you, who would be in their top 5?
In their top 5, I get a lot of like, it's similar. It's like Cole, J.I.D., Boogie, of course Dot, without question. A lot of people though, which is crazy, a lot of people that have me in their top 5, they listen to DMX a lot. Like I never saw that comparison until like I signed with TDE, but a lot of people compare me to DMX like a lot. Like I think it's the voice thing, you know what I mean?
No, but there's a little bit with you. Okay, so I was listening to a couple of songs like just to like, cause for me, I always say it's Kendrick, it's Cole. Like if I can put, if I can describe somebody and say, well, who is Reason like to you?
Yeah, those are like always the first two. Is like Kendrick and Cole.
Don't hate me. Eminem is not one of my favorite rappers.
He's not one of mine either.
Okay, but I was getting there was somebody else in there, and when you said DMX, that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah. There's a little bit of but like it's how you tell storytelling, how you can tell.
And that's what a lot of people say, like the storytelling side of it, and how straightforward the storytelling is, and stuff like that. And
even how you can relay a situation that we got to be on alert kind of situation, how you can paint that imagery, and like I said, it's poetry at the end of the day, and DMX is one of the best poets out there, like, you get what I'm saying, or rest in peace. He's a great poet at the end of the day, you know. So I would say that is that's accurate for me. My top 5 rappers would be, right now, I would say active or like just in a whole.
Well, I always just do as a whole. For me,
as a whole, oh god, that's like kind
but it's tough.
That's tough. Top
but
5.
Let's do active.
Active
as a whole,
is easier.
A lot of people have the same people.
That's easy. It's easier to do active. My favorite active rappers, no particular order. I would say YG, 21 Savage, Reason. Rappers. Nikki always, that's like a given. Like, can we, like, that's like, can you...
Nikki has the most loyal fan base I've ever seen in my life.
You don't go... People, will, quietly talk about, some things they might like about certain celebrities you might not think you shouldn't be talking about. She spoke on a certain celebrity. I was looking at her like, well, we're gonna get canceled. Active rappers, and I can't really think of other than that, because I'm a very I'm stuck in my ways. I'll listen to the same
people.
Oh, and J. Cole, Kendrick, like those are givens. Like I'm I was just thinking, Kendrick said waiting on him like the 1st and the 15th. We are like we waiting on you. We waiting for the whole camp to go pull up.
Everybody waiting
for
that. Yeah, I think it's gonna be worth the wait though.
Nah, I wanted to know, do you think that we're gonna get a project before the summer from you?
For me?
Yeah,
for sure.
Perfect,
yeah,
perfect.
I plan on dropping a lot this year. Last year wasn't it wasn't purposeful, and that's why I put out a tweet apologizing to my fans because I never want to be that artist. I personally, there's no shade to any artists like that. I never want to be the artist that my fans are just waiting forever to get music.
Like, when you give us a little 3-pack, I was happy.
Yeah, and even that was like me just like forcing the issue because I was like, there's no way I go this entire year without doing anything. You know what I mean? But it was just more business. Say it like
peanut butter and jelly. So I'm always happy when y'all do a little collab together like that. That's those two songs on the end were super dope. So I like the whole 3-pack, but I love when y'all collab. I love hearing you going back and forth. When you hit Stop a Rapper, he'll come in wait, hold on, let's go.
It's funny because that 3-pack that was literally just for my fans. So I picked the songs based off of what songs are people asking me about. So it's the Dreamer Sessions, everybody kept asking me for the Wale song that we did. So I finally was able to muscle them niggas into sending the song over. So I put that on there. And then Left Hand, I had previewed online.
Are you left-handed?
No, it's called Left Hand because...
Is your brother left-handed?
No, we're both right-handed. But yeah, it was just called Left Hand because the beat was called Left Hand. And we didn't feel like naming the song, so we were like, fuck it, Left Hand, it is what it is. And then the Atlanta, we were all in Atlanta, me, Top, Rayvon, Zay, Rock. We all just went out there to just work with P and them and some of their producers. And Griselda pulled up, and so
I didn't want to put Offset in there, but Offset's in my top 2. I like Offset goes, Offset goes. The 21 Savage, there's certain Atlanta rappers that you gotta really if you stop and really listen to what they saying, then you'll realize that
I like a lot of Atlanta rappers. Young Thug is one of my favorite
really?
artists. Yeah, I love Young Thug.
I
stop Young Thug is in that category with me. When he drops, I stop my day, whatever I'm doing, and listen to his album. Similar to Cole or Die. I treat him the same way. Anything Young Thug is on, I'm stopping my day, I'm listening to it. If he announced a project, I'm stopping my day, I'm listening to it. I think Young Thug is that talented. I think he's incredible.
Kendrick tends to drop right around my birthday, and I always feel like it's a gift to me. He's here you go, Brittany. Here you go. And I'm normally, and before I was living out here, I was normally coming to LA for my birthday. I would always not drive out here, but I would get up in the morning, just drive and just I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna be out here. And then this year on my birthday, when I'm just driving home, it's I'm really out here. I remember but it's listening to Kendrick. I remember when Humble came out. I just remember just blasting that shit all up and down roads I shouldn't let me just go drive to Compton. Seriously, put in Compton. I don't know why the hell I want to be in Compton, but I'm you know what? It's all about manifestation. Finally made it out here. It was a super dope just experience. I've always just had this fascination with just LA culture.
Me too.
The fact that dude was telling me y'all can't gang members can't stand on the corner. If it's too many of y'all, they'll get arrested if y'all all got the same colors on. Just mad different shit. And it's just you'll go back home and y'all think y'all in these little bum ass gangs. If y'all only know what the shit is out west, it's kind of it's real different. You know what I mean? It's very different. I seen some dudes about to get their ass beat by some of them fucking security guards at the dispensary thinking that they tough from out of town. I'm just yo, y'all don't even know what y'all signing up for out here.
So you came out to New York, to LA for the same reasons, just always wanted to be
I always wanted to be here, but I'm vegan and there's a huge vegan community out here.
Yeah, the vegan community is crazy out here.
So I came here to be around like-minded people, the weather. I love the balance of like mountain and beach and
Yeah.
palm trees, but if you drive up Northern California, you're gonna get your snow
You're gonna get
too.
the
So
snow,
it's
yeah.
all-
You can see
it's
snow
all
caps
there.
from my house. Like
Yeah.
there's like snow caps like literally
Yeah.
in front of me. Like
Yeah.
You know, it's close. Like people think that a lot of times people think California is just LA. Like it's like literally
No.
just
or just
LA.
sunshine,
Exactly,
palm
yeah. And
trees.
it's like it's a big state. You know what I mean? All the way up
Yeah.
north. You know, coming all the way back down. So yeah.
It's a huge state. Like it's if you literally look at it on the map, it's the length of the entire
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
country. You know what I mean? So, who would you say are your top 5 female artists?
Top 5 female artists: Rhapsody, for sure.
I love y'all songs together.
Yeah. I want to do like so much more music with Rhapsody. She's just doing a lot right now. She's getting in the media and everything. But yeah, shout out to Rhapsody. But Rhapsody, Nicki, of course, it's like a given.
You're BARB.
Yeah, I fuck with Nicki.
That's
So,
what's
it's just
up.
funny because I didn't.
Y'all
I brought up-
reasons of BARB,
I brought up the
y'all.
loyal thing because like I had tweeted something about Nicki one day, and usually like when I come back to Twitter and I have a bunch of notifications, that usually means I'm getting canceled. So I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like, and I was giving her credit, and I came back to like her entire fan base, like this is the smartest nigga in TDE. This is, I'm like, god damn, like
Yeah.
But yeah. So,
Nah, you about to get mad love now that you got that clip saying you a BARB. We good money now. It's good.
But yeah, Nicki, of course, Rhapsody. It's a chick that did my Flick It Up challenge. She's actually one of my favorite artists now, though, Junie.
Okay.
So shout out to her. As far as rappers, that's probably, honestly, like I probably don't have a top 5 for women, unfortunately, besides those 3. But then just female artists, I love her. Like her is, I think she's my personal opinion. I think she is the best in R&B right now. Like I just think she's incredible. It's either her or SZA, like one of the two. But of course, SZA without question. Who else have I been listening to?
I'm waiting for the whole camp to come out and do their thing.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot of drops. I know we're gonna have a lot of drops this year.
That's
like
what's
a lot of drops. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, those are some of my favorite female artists.
That's dope.
Yeah. So generally, who inspires you to really like tap into write your music, and who do you hope to inspire? Is it the little boy? Is it the little girl? Like generally, when you got into this music?
For me, and it's funny because it's like, and this is no shade to them, but like, so the people that usually inspire me when they drop is like Kanye, Cole, Dot, of course, Drake, Young Thug.
How was being around him recently? I know that energy had to be like.
Who?
Kanye.
Oh, Kanye. Yeah. It was crazy because like I said this to my brother, and I didn't want to say it out loud because I didn't want to jinx it, but I feel like we're getting the old Kanye back. I feel like he's like slowly like coming back. Like when I was in the studio with them, like he reminded me of like the Kanye that I fell in love with as a kid. You know what I mean? Like he had his couple, rants and stuff like that even in the studio, but even the rants were just like about passion and music. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like the antics and all of these other things. And I feel like he's getting to that space. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, he's like a really, really genuine, like speaks to everybody in the room. You know what I mean? Like didn't turn down like no pictures or nothing like that. Like he was just cool. Like it was actually like very surprising.
And it's good when you feel that from somebody that you like really.
For sure.
It was funny because like when people like talk about him being, why is he in the studio with this person? Why is he in the studio with that person? I was literally listening like, yo, like he was in the studio with Paul Wall. Like
Kanye's
yo,
always
like,
been he's always been a collaborative person.
Yeah,
when it comes to music.
like that drive slow, and then look, I'm digging in your crate. What comes up? That drive slow shit. That shit is so hard. The back end of that is so hard.
Yeah.
Like yo, that But yeah, he's not
he's
exempt from working
but that's what I mean by saying like the old Kanye. Like I feel like he got away from that. I feel like he wasn't as social. Like Kanye is a social person. He is somebody that moves around and whatnot. And I feel like ever since the Drink Champs interview, I feel like he's just been in a positive space. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like spiritually positive. Like I feel like we're getting him back, and I'm praying that the world doesn't bring him back into another space, you know what I mean? Because they love to attack Kanye or find different things.
We watched that interview and we're super inspired.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I was
And I feel
super
like
inspired.
if you got like, I feel like people just like to be on bandwagons with just opinions now, and it's just like, okay, let's all just say Kanye's crazy. Let's all just say that he's this. Let's all just say that he's that. If you sit back and dissect what he's saying, and you actually have a brain and can use some type of rational reason to what he's saying, then you'll be like, damn, like he really putting on, like, and you really like, he's really putting us on.
He's
and
really intentional.
Yeah,
He's like,
very
intentional.
Yes,
all adds up.
Yes, and that's the whole thing, and I just really just think that I just hope that we don't allow the media to take him for granted, because people like that can just dip off and be like, you know, fuck this.
And that was what I'm saying. Like, I'm hoping that the world just allows him to keep healing and heading in the way that he's headed right now, because he's in a very, very great space. You know what I mean? And
that's fine.
Yeah, so I'm, you know,
we're praying for that, and I hope that, and that's so good to hear. What other questions did you?
Oh, but wait, to finish. Inspire you. So those are some of the people that inspired me. But however, I felt like 2021 was a little flat on inspiration. So that was another reason why. Like, it was very hard. Like, 2021 was probably the least amount of songs that I've written in a year, and it was just because of the lack of inspiration and different things like that. And so, but what's dope is that 2021, a lot of the big names dropped, and I wasn't as inspired. But now 2022, a lot of the newer names are dropping. You know what I mean? Like J.I.D. just dropped a record, Joey dropped a record, Denzel dropped a record. It's a few people. I tweeted the other day, and they're inspiring me more than some of the bigger names did last year, which I think is dope, because it means that, like, the music is headed in the right direction. You get what I'm saying? Like, it means it's headed in the right direction. So,
do you think this whole like pandemic thing has played a huge impact on like the fact that, okay, the bigger artists were able to kind of roll out during that kind of like downtime?
I think that the pandemic, the biggest effect on music the pandemic made was that nobody was really living. So nobody had anything to talk about. And I think that that's why the music kind of fell flat. You get what I'm saying? Like
everybody almost had the same story.
Exactly, because nobody was really living. Like, if you even think about J. Cole, like, Cole, all of his albums are about something. This was the first time we just got a Cole just rap. Like, I'm not really talking about nothing, I'm just rap, braggadocious type album. And I feel like it's probably because niggas ain't really doing much, because everybody was in the house, you know what I mean? So I feel like this year will be a lot more, you know what I mean, of life and emotions and what people are going through. I think that'll happen a lot more this year, because of the fact that the world is getting closer to normal. It'll never be what it was.
People are so anxious to almost like be doing stuff. Like, people are almost
exactly.
like, F that. Like,
exactly.
we're gonna be doing
we're gonna
this.
do this, we're gonna do that. You get what I'm saying?
They're super anxious. Like,
exactly.
I go, shoot, and now I saw that game. Yeah, I'm not really into no sports or nothing, but I saw that the Rams won yesterday, so I know LA is about to be on fire once the Super Bowl comes around. So people are ready to have a good time, you know? So that's definitely gonna help music right now. I just wanted to know, do you ever make your music with a female's ear in mind?
I just started doing that like the last 2 years. So Westside on New Beginnings was probably the first time that I made a song with a female. Like, I've made female songs before, but with the female mind in mind.
Nah, you got one song that's hella toxic. This shit went like, he was like,
situation.
This shit was like, she fucking wrong, and I'm about to I'm gonna be right there, but let me go get my bitch, my side bitch. She always gonna make shit easier for me.
So this is the thing, I'm such an honest artist.
I have a question for you. Sorry, I'm like off of edible, so if I'm going in and out, like, it's kind of edible. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, but like, and that's what I mean about like making it with a female in mind. It's like, when I wrote Situations, I'm so honest in my music that I was trying to write like this sappy love story of like the guy that's trying to get his girl back, but she, you know, doesn't. And then I was just like, it don't go like that.
in the car, and it was so left.
Yeah, and I was just like, it don't never really go like this. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like part of like writing, you know, music for women, and this is no offense, but it's like, you kind of have to lie. And that was like why I always struggled writing like songs for women, because women want to hear the things that they want to hear, but not all of those things are true. Do you get what I'm saying? So it was hard for me to write those songs, but recently I've been writing more songs. I figured out a way to stay honest and still write like records for women. So I've actually been like in that bag for like the last like year and a half, like writing way more female intentional records, because I feel like records for women.
West Side is definitely a good one.
Yeah, and I feel like records for women, like if women like it, then it's gonna be successful. Because
when Janae get on this record, we really gonna be good.
Yeah, like I'm man, like
come on, we're gonna get Janae on this record for him, y'all.
For sure.
Keep tagging her.
So yeah, so to answer the question, yes, like I've been recently doing that a lot.
That's what's up. Do you find it hard to not succumb to like this whole TikTok and like making like music just for that? Because one thing that I love is just the authenticity that comes off in your music and just your persona in general. Like I don't really feel like I'm getting much of like fluff with you. Is it hard to look at people almost like blow up doing the gimmicky shit?
It's not hard to look at people blow up, because I've always lived my life where I'm like, everybody's path is different. You know what I mean?
Make sure you don't make me shit.
Exactly.
But it's just kind of like, is it almost like, damn, should I try this stupid shit? Like, do you know what I mean?
It's more of like how do I do this without compromising my brand and who I am? You get what I'm saying? Like, and it's funny because we have meetings about that all the time at the label. You know, of course, like we got Rayvon, and Rayvon is really big on TikTok.
But not many of y'all come off on that label as doing this.
No, for sure. But it's like TikTok you can't deny its power when it comes to music now. You know what I mean? Like people
it's gonna be its own record label.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, it's going to be its own record label. Like I know they're in the works of even like distributing music through TikTok, like where you go to TikTok like an Apple Music and play music and you listen to music on TikTok. So it's something that like it's unavoidable now. So I have to find a way to be on there. But my biggest thing is like, how do I do that without? Because one thing I will never do is
favorite nigga got a good TikTok beat to it.
And and it's funny because we talk about that at the label. Like there's songs that I make that can be on there. Flick It Up can be on there. Like there's certain songs that can be on there. So it's really just about capitalizing on understanding how to do it and when to do it. You know what I mean, for certain records, but to not be on there like devaluing or diluting your brand, you know what I mean, like,
or making your fans that really fuck with you and
like,
be like, what is this nigga
exactly
doing?
like, I won't be on there dancing and shit like that.
No, because I would dead be in your I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we're not doing this shit.
But I'm gonna find a way to be on there. It's just more about just figuring out exactly
the balance between it. It's a hard balance. Trust me, I be on there on sometimes like, okay, what the fuck? I ain't doing that. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't. Some shit just ain't for me. But to each their own, But do you have any questions?
No, you kind of already answered, because I was gonna ask like, what's yours? Being that this is a 2 cents podcast, what was your 2 cents on today's music and where it's sort of heading? But I feel like within conversation you kind of already answered that, but if you want to say more.
I feel like music is headed in a great space. I know a lot of people feel as though like, it's not what it was, and that's very true. It's not, you know what I mean, especially when it comes to hip hop. But I personally think that like a lot of people will shit on quote unquote the mumble rappers. I feel like they're pushing their music or genre or whatever you want to call it a lot better than we are, to be honest with you. I just had this conversation with King Mez, and I told him, I said, if hip hop dies, it's on us. That's not on, like, we can't blame that on the quote unquote mumble rappers. They're doing everything that they're supposed to do to make their music popular. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're not doing what we need to do to make it popular. And what I mean by that is collabing more. Like, the reason why their music is so popular is because
it's posse tracks.
Exactly. They work with each other all the time. They're always with each other. They in each other videos. They around each other at the club. Like, they move as a unit. You get what I'm saying?
Bitches roll together.
Legitimately. You know what I'm saying? Like, they move as a fucking unit. They're legitimately friends. And we're friends too. And that's what I was telling Mads. I'm like, we all know each other. We're all very close. Like, I talk to Jid all the time. Like, all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I talk to Kaz all the time. I talk to Mez all the time. I talk to Childish Major all the time. These are people that I have very close relationships with, but I don't have as much music with them. Do you get what I'm saying? And so it's like we have to do a better job at collabing. Our greats have to do a better job at giving younger artists that are in their lane features, not just the trap rappers features. You know what I'm saying? That's why what Cole just did with Benny, that was big. Like, I give Cole a lot of credit for that, because usually the people that are in our category of music when they do collabs, they do collabs with people that are in trap music or whatever the case may be. And Cole gave a feature to Benny. That's big for Benny. That is what helps hip hop stay alive. You get what I'm saying? And keep projecting. You get what I'm saying? So
for sure.
Yeah, they're doing what they need to do. You know what I mean? We just got to step it up on our end, in my opinion.
I feel like also it's just kind of like I also like more of a collaboration between female and male artists. Like I think that there should be more like posse cuts with male and female artists. And it's not like, I understand like there's certain songs, like I said, favorite nigga, if you gave me like an extra like verse on that is like I could run that song. You probably got a zillion streams. How many times I play that song just feeling like I don't know who the fuck I think I am in the car, but if you hear the song, you can be like, oh yeah. But just to have like when you and rap, like just to hear that female come in or to hear the back and forth, I think that shit is dope. Like it doesn't have to be such a separate thing. I think that there should be more collaborative just in the genders as well. You get what I'm saying? Like because there's so many dope artists that are new that would be super fly on a song together. You know what I mean?
Sure. I
like,
agree with that wholeheartedly.
100%. What other? I think I had. I don't want to keep you here. Do you ghostwrite or plan to ghostwrite?
I don't plan to ghostwrite. I will ghostwrite. Like if somebody like wanted my help with lyrics and whatnot, I would do it, and especially because it would be like another challenge for me. Like I love writing from different perspectives. That's why I storytell so much. So it would be similar to that. You know what I mean? But I haven't necessarily like ghost written, but I have like helped artists with verses. Like when I'm in the studio collabing with artists, I have like helped and like been like, yo, you should say these four, you know what I mean? Like I've given artists bars or different things like that, but I've never just sat down and written an entire song for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like I haven't done that.
I was watching your live and you literally created a whole fucking song on the live. Like,
which I'm mad I did that because that song
first
is
of all,
so hard. Like,
that shit is gonna be fire. That
it's going on my album. So
but
I'm
honestly, like, I think it like everybody in the comments was saying like we loyal enough to like keep that as a gem. That was a fan.
I fuck with it because usually when I get off the live and I'm playing music, I usually right away get a video of whatever I was doing on live. I haven't gotten one, so I'm like, damn, like I feel like
it was like
really
it was almost like a private studio. So like you brought us in like, hey, let me just put y'all on real quick. You know what I mean? So it was super dope. But what was I about to ask you? Do you who are your top 5 New York artists?
New York artists? Hove, of course, Fabulous, Cameron.
Killer.
That's tough because I have like so many New York artists that I love. Jadakiss.
Don't put him in there now that you saw him on the verses.
Nah, I just forgot of how dope Jadakiss is.
And maybe X?
Yeah. No, that's what I'm trying to decide between X and Jewels. I'm a big Jewels fan, so I'm really trying to decide. But I feel like it's X because X's catalog is way better than Jewels. But it's just on some. Jewels was big. Like Wayne is my favorite rapper of all time, and Jewels was big with Wayne, so it holds like a special place for me because they was doing that together.
I think people sleep on the early 2000s impact on us.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Like your party was A1. Like everybody came out. They had name bells. That shit was fucking dope. Like
fun as hell.
I just went to New York for a party and I was like tight the entire time because it's like like New York. It's too cool to have fun. Like it's like I want to be
don't get me wrong though, LA is that way too. That's the reason why me and my homies throw parties because like
I went
there's
to some shit called Poom Poom Tuesdays and they was in there. They keep sending me messages. Yo, I felt like I was in a Brooklyn bashment party. Yo, this shit was dope as fuck, yo.
That's lit.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Fame or the respect as a lyricist?
Oh, the respect as a lyricist. I don't even like fame. Like fame is.
Some people don't.
It's weird to me. Like and you don't get to like do like normal people. They like, for example, so perfect example, like the game yesterday. So I posted a video or whatever, and there's people in my comments like, why he all the way up in those seats with like he got rapper money and all that? But I'm like, I have season tickets with my dad. My dad can't afford to be that close, so we sit in the same seats every day, but it's like
plenty of pictures of you and your pops at the game.
Yeah,
and your dad and your brother's a football coach.
Exactly.
Like,
but I'm saying that to say it's like the more famous you get, you can't do that. Like I can't sit like the little bit of fame I have now, I can't sit in seats with my dad without people being like, oh this nigga broke. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like, yes, I can afford to be down there, but this is special for me. This is something I do with my dad every Sunday. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is something
or maybe I don't just want to have the pressure of being down there and dealing with all that.
Exactly. It's like those are the type of things that you like that come with fame. You know what I mean? Like it comes with people automatically assume that because you're famous, you're rich. You know what I'm saying? Like I do well for myself, but it's like I don't have $20 million sitting in the bank, and people automatically think, because they think that about all of these artists. Like I said, I know these artists on a personal level. Like it's a struggle, especially for an up and coming artist. It's a struggle because you have to quote unquote keep up a certain level of image when it's like, you know, like you might not have it to drop 15,000 on a chain, but people expect you to have that. You get what I'm saying? And I know artists that have that live at home with their parents. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, so, you know, all of those things.
Here, I've seen it a lot. And it's just like, honestly, I more respect the humble in it. I more respect the fact that, like, yo, I know that I'm genuinely getting you as an artist and not just some, like, let me just, do your dance, nigga. Get your schmurder on. Like, I'm not just getting some performative character. Like, you do perform, but at the end of the day, like, just, like, on a humble, like, even me, I felt like we were both stars, but I felt like you were, like, surprised, like, oh, shit, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, you
that's
know?
what I mean, like, with fame, it's like you lose the ability to do normal people shit. Like, you know, like, when we went to Brush Bomb, it's like, those are my guys. Like, I've been rocking with them when they was throwing way smaller parties, you know what I'm saying? And they've now grown into, like, it was like 10,000 people there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that shit was flooded.
And they've grown that shit to that, you know what I mean?
In the heart of COVID, that shit was flooded.
Exactly. And it's like, the more famous I get, like, so what, I can't go to Brush Bomb no more? Like, that's trash. You know what I mean? Like, and those are the things that come with, I remember my first time getting to New York. I took the subway everywhere because I'd never been on the subway, so I was like, I want to do that. And all I was thinking about was like, damn, But all I was thinking about is like, damn, if I was like super famous, I couldn't even like take the subway. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted to experience it. You know what I mean?
You'd be surprised how many would be like low key ducking on there. Like, New Yorkers, like, they just know. New Yorkers, one got this like thing of like this. I had to kind of like shake it off me. Like, one, don't fucking talk to me. So once they start hiding incognito, you put that I don't want to fucking talk to nobody on, they could get a little bit away with it. They ride that subway, but I get you. It doesn't make. I can only imagine it makes it a lot harder to move around and just enjoy. You seem very family oriented, and I feel like you don't want to ever have to lose being able to do certain things with them.
Exactly, or in a certain way, because it's like I never stop doing those things, but it's like I never want to like not be able to like go to the movies. Now I got to go to iPic, which is like the expensive movie where all the famous and rich niggas go. You get what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm also a big Marvel fan. I want to go see Black Panther in the Kraken Theater with all the black people. I don't want to go to iPic where there's only 15 seats in the theater. You get what I'm saying? Like, and so it's little shit like that, you know what I mean? But, you know, it comes with fame and people automatically assuming you're higher or at a higher level, you get what I'm saying, than somebody else.
Do you think you being so new, that's why you're so, like, you're still, like, your feet are still there, like, in a sense of, like, you can still, like, I don't want to really leave that?
I don't think it's a new thing. I think it's because I was already a man when I started. I think it's because I started late, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was 23 when I started to, like, I can't imagine, like, people will say things about, like, people like Chris Brown and, like, oh, this thing's crazy, this. I'm like, what do you expect a 14-year-old that lived that life and is hanging around Snoop Dogg and women and this?
Bow Wow at 5 years old.
The fact that these niggas are alive and functioning is a blessing.
I always say, I don't do any Chris Brown slander. There's never any Chris Brown slander.
Like, the fact that Bow Wow is sane and walking around and a regular nigga and is still got
breathing and
still got a sense of humor, and they don't, like, the fact that they're doing that is a big deal. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm that way because I started later, so I was already who I was before I started. You know what I mean?
Keke Palmer had said something on an interview at the Breakfast Club where she was just like, yo, like the thing about being a child star is that you got people from the moment that you're little always admiring you and then telling you how great you are and you're this and you're that. And the moment people start telling you, no, you're actually ain't shit or you're a fuck up or you're this or you're that, you don't really know how to comprehend that. You know what I mean? So being able to live life with a little bit more of experience, a little bit more of learning through rejection and shit like that, you could kind of like maneuver through this a little bit better because you just don't really have that hand-holding experience. You know?
Just like vices, like I already had my vices before I started doing this, so it's like, how is a 15-year-old kid that's hanging around Snoop Dogg and Snoop pass him a blunt, how does he say no to Snoop? Like, do you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying Snoop did that to kids. No. I'm just saying in that situation.
Yeah, look at you. Bow was signed to death row. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, it's like you a 17-year-old and you hanging around niggas in Atlanta and they drinking lean. How do you not start drinking? Like, you're a kid still. You're still very impressionable. Yeah, you know what I mean? 100%. So, you know, it's being older and starting, like, is one of the things that I'm most grateful for. Especially because it's like, going back to respect as a lyricist, it's like, as long as I have respect as a lyricist, I can do this shit for as long as I want. There is no cap.
People can't touch people can't shit on your pen. That's one thing.
Whereas if you're a club artist, at some point you have to you have to hang it up because you're not going to be able to compete with the kids when you're 45.
1985 J. Cole song. You know that song?
Exactly.
That shit.
That's exactly
what it is. One of my favorite newer songs by him. 1985. That is a pure description of that shit. It's a pure description of it. It's
like, you know, like it's not about. It's about the long. For me, it's about the longevity of it. It's about in 15 years. If I want to start my own label, if I say an artist is dope, people respect it because I was dope. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's about that for me and that being able to, you know, withstand your, you know, your longevity and whatnot. Because like I want to do this shit until whenever I don't want to do this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
and people just respect. I think it's cool. Like I've always been a type of person like all that shit is cool for now. All that for now shit, okay, cool. But it's the stuff that I can go back and listen to, and I still play Born Sinner. I still play To Pimp a Butterfly. I still play fucking what else? Like yo, like there's so many like just shit that I can listen to and resonate still today. There's not a lot of like all of that like microwavable shit now. Like it's cool, but I respect it for what it is. But to have that long-term effect on people and that shit can still 10 years from now be like, yo, that shit still the fact. Like that's a fact. You know what I mean? Sure. Like that's the type of people that catch my attention. It's just the people that actually are saying some shit and actually took some type of time and effort into how they want to put this together. Like I'm literally watching you on live, like yo, he's literally like thinking, not like just like that sounds good with that. No, it's like a real thought process behind it, and like I said, a poetry. So I genuinely love and appreciate what you do and people in your craft. And I think people just want to have the respect of you're dope and you're the nicest in what you do. That's what fucking matters. And to me, with what you do, you're one of the nicest. And I always want to know, like, how does that impact you? Being newer, nicer, and on a big ass label, like, how does that, like, that's mad pressure, no?
Yeah, no, it's definitely pressure. Especially, I was having this convo with Mans too. It's like when you're nice, like everything that you drop, people expect it at a certain level and quality, which is dope. It's dope to have that, but it also creates a lot of pressure. And we were talking about like, you know, other artists that may be in different lanes. Like if they drop an album with 14 songs and you like 4 of them, that's a success. You're like, oh, people are like, oh, this album hard, like, because they didn't come into the album expecting to like the entire thing. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I think that was the best thing for me when they brought you on as, I think it was a naked ear. It was just kind of like, yo, like, nah, this shit is dope. Like, I didn't go into it like, nah, Reason normally do this. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I got to say, and that was a big reason why I appreciated Top letting us drop There You Have It, because like I said, I made There You Have It before I signed to the label. Like it was dropped a year and a half before, and then we took it off and re-dropped it. And I appreciated them.
The skit in the beginning is mad dope. I love when niggas do skit. That's the whole thing. That shit is fire. I love all of that shit. But
yeah, it allowed me to set like a ground base of like, this is my sound and this is who I am. and then people to like travel with me and grow with me, you know what I mean, with the music. And that's my biggest thing. Like for me, my two things that I say I make music for is the high school kids just arguing who's the best at the time, because I was that kid. I was arguing, yelling to the top of my lungs, you know what I mean, arguing. So
who were you arguing?
I used to argue for Cassidy. I used to argue for Wayne. I used to argue for Fab. Like these are like conversations and.
Oh, you was in them LA schools. You was in them Delamo schools going crazy asking for the smoke.
That's what I'm saying. We used to be in there, and this is the shit that we used to talk about. You know what I mean? So I make music for that kid and everything else that's going on with him at that time in his life and the things that he's saying. And also, I make music to be able to. I never want to have an album that drops and my fans be like, oh, this wasn't what I wanted. You get what I'm saying? Like I always want to grow. Like I want my fans to hear the growth in my music every single time I drop. And I want them to be happy and satisfied. And that goes back to what I was saying when I said last year was not intentional. Like I never want to be that artist that leaves
your fans hanging.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I get it that there's marketing strategies in that. I get it that, you know, it helps in certain different ways or whatever. But for me personally, like I want my fans to consistently get product from me. You know what I mean? Like they like my music, they support me. They're the ones that fund my lifestyle. I don't have to work a job, you know what I mean? Which is a blessing, and I get to live my life the way I want to live it. The least I can do is consistently give my fans what they want. You know what I mean?
Weren't you doing IT before this too?
I was staffing in IT, so I wasn't doing necessarily IT, but I was getting people hired that, you know what I mean, worked in IT. And even that, like, and that's what I mean about just like the perception. Like people, when I signed, people was like, oh, that nigga got money now. Like I made more money when I was working than when I first signed to TDE, I was broke because I quit my job. I was making $90,000 a year, and I didn't sign for no crazy signing bonus, and I didn't have music out that was streaming. So like Top was literally taking care of me until I dropped music. You know what I'm saying? Like he was literally my life I had to change the way that I did things because of the fact that I was making less money. But that's what I mean about the perception. People are like, oh, he has fame now, he signed to TDE.
And such a big label like TDE.
They're like, oh, he got
$7 billion on it.
I wish they let me keep working, like, because I had to drastically change my life in order to afford, you know what I mean, and stuff. Like, Top ain't gonna never let me be homeless, but at the same time, you know, I had to change my way of thinking to be able to come to another man to ask him for money to be able to pay rent.
You had to be an artist. You had to be an artist, and just sometimes think of it like, okay, but like even with this, like we normally are so used to using my free ass Clubhouse, so we're like, yo, what we gotta do now? Okay, now we gotta get this. You gotta figure out what's the next step. And sometimes it's just like that's just what comes with the craft. You gotta sometimes you gotta spend, lose to make money. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's just how it goes.
Exactly. And it's like I wouldn't have been able to do both. So it is what it is. I have to quit. You know what I mean? Because I have to be able to put the necessary hours in the music to be even better. You know what I mean? Because now I am on such a big label, and now I have the shadows of Dot and Q and Rock and all these incredible.
But even the Dreamville, I feel like even that Dreamville shadow as well. You got a weird Dreamville shadow
that's
as well.
What I'm saying. Exactly. I'm like the
middle child,
honorary member of Dreamville. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like it comes with a certain level of
like that's our cousin over there.
Exactly. They're my
definitely, Y'all got some fire ass tracks together.
Yeah.
But do you have any questions for us?
My question that I would like to ask you guys, because I know what made me like take the leap of faith as far as like, not the leap of faith as far as like if you're gonna fail, but more of just like vulnerability. You know what I mean? Like so, like what I assume you guys talk about personal things and different things like that on here. Like what made you guys comfortable enough to like to put your like personal life, you know what I'm saying? Out there and whatnot.
I always feel like I have so much to say, and if I don't say it, I feel like I'm doing a disservice
verbal diarrhea
to my people, whether it's about a certain topic or anything like that. Like there is some sort of filter, like where we don't say everything, because of course. I just found out my dad listens to this.
So I was like, "Where's your videos with that girl?" Like, I was like, "Not your pops missing me."
He goes 2 cents. I'm like, oh. So there is certain things that I can't really say much, but I like to put my life out there because I feel like I can inspire somebody someday with my stories or my personal issues and goals and aspirations, all of that. So
same. I just feel like it's very therapeutic, honestly, and I just like honestly, like my mom, she's like, you shouldn't. I'm like, girl, the things you shouldn't be doing, we could talk about all day.
That's true.
You know, so it's just kind of like, one, we grown.
Yeah.
Two, it's just kind of like I said, therapeutic. And also, like, we've always been people, I hate the term influencer because I like to inspire people in real life. Like, I was teaching, like, I've been a personal trainer, was teaching group fitness classes, and just like doing things to make women and just people in general, Black people in general, just know that they can be more, that they don't have to be what society, like, just because you had kids, or just because you are just starting in school, or just because you just decided, you know what, I don't want to do this. I literally walked out my job one day and was just like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not doing this shit no more. And it's just like, I think that just teaching people to bet on themselves, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with doing so. There's nothing wrong with not fulfilling society norms, because there are a lot of things that are okay now, where people are promoting now, we're not necessarily big supporters of. And I feel like there's a rhetoric around women and the way that we're supposed to think right now that we're just not always in the same alignment with. And even though we live in a modern time, there's still some other things from back then that we should never just like lose sight of, you know? So that's just really what it's just kind of like I talk shit. I'm cool. Look, you know me. If you know me, I'm cool with saying fucking anything. 90% of the people that have met me probably have a ridiculous story of the first things that I said to them, and it's like fucking ridiculous.
We haven't shared that one.
No, just let's leave it.
But we also have these kinds of conversations like off the mic.
Yeah.
So like, let's just bring it on the mic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's just the thing. Like, and I'm honestly, Clubhouse is really what got me in my bag with this. Like, being on Clubhouse and that whole, like, it was like a wave of time. Like, we were on Clubhouse all the time and just talking about different topics, whether it was like things that were going on, government, Black community, music-wise, having our own verses on Clubhouse and different little shit. Like, it just really made me feel like, you know what? Actually, let me just start a fucking podcast. And Joe Budden, like Joe is a podfather. He's a podfather. I put mad respect on him. And I love him, even though he's a freaking nut. But as much as, the more I listen to him, the more I'm like, damn, like, me and this person is literally the fucking same.
But now that people are making fun of like men who are like now starting podcasts.
But that's why I'm like, this is even better for us, because we can y'all niggas about the weight. But I had a quick question that came to my head. Do you have any other questions for us, or?
No, I'm just always interested with creatives, like what made them, because it's a vulnerability factor that comes with it. So I'm just always interested in, you know, what gets people out of their shell to be able to do, you know, something vulnerable.
I wanted to add to that too, because I'm a content creator on Instagram, and I feel like a lot of people don't really hear my voice. Like, I do speak on it, but not a lot. Like, all my videos are just like with the music playing.
Gotcha.
So I feel like this is another way for somebody to get to know me.
I see what you're saying.
And hear me and understand me. So
Gotcha.
it's just another platform. I'm not used to really talking about myself. So I feel like she said, it's therapeutic.
And like me as a mom, I think that people just 9 times out of 10 people don't assume that I have kids. So I just think that just being able to show women, especially Black women, like different ways to keep yourself mentally and spiritually, physically inspired, and to just doing more. Like, we're not just fucking twerk videos and fucking wigs. You know what I mean? So I just really want people to be inspired, to just open their eyes to certain things, and just, you know, like, for instance, like we talked about, you know, women we'll give niggas a zillion chances, right? But our girlfriends will miss a birthday dinner. Fuck that bitch. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's why I said hoes always say they best friends. Right. Like, it's the amount of shit that we allow from our dudes, and not saying, because I'm all for sticking it through. My thing is, like, shit may not always be, because we live in a very swipe right, swipe left society, but we'll let the smallest things into friendship that you even before you even knew this dude. You know what I mean? So just little things like that, mother-daughter relationships, just a lot of things. We were going to talk about before you got here, how toxic mothers could be more detrimental than absent father. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
I agree with that.
what do you think on that? We'll give you that your 2 cent topic real quick.
I actually
we're starting the topic.
Yeah, I actually thoroughly agree with that. I've had conversations with I have a lot of female friends. I have like 5 best female friends that legitimately
I'm
like,
number 6.
Yeah.
Maybe 7.
But like we haven't had no type of past, nothing like that. These are like my sisters, and we talk about things like that, and just understanding that there is no right way to do anything. Like the most important thing when you raising a kid is to not create an environment that's toxic or negative, regardless of
or distrusting.
Or distrusting. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of what's going on between you and the father, and you have to be able to separate those feelings. You know what I mean? Because it's like a father that's absent. Yes, that does affect the child, but they also can't like personally harm the child. Their absence harms the child, but they cannot instill any negative behaviors or toxic thoughts or anything like that. But a mother can. So it's like you can instill things in somebody for 18 years, 25 years because you're mad about some people longer than that because you're mad about somebody not being here. When it's like, so then when you look back on it, it's like, okay, well, who hurt the kid more? Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like your way of thinking and all the things that you put in this person because of your experiences that they didn't even experience, but now they have all the behaviors of somebody that did experience them because you instilled it in them. You know what I mean?
And I have had the conversation. Like sometimes my mom has taught me more what not to do than what to do. You get what I'm saying? And that's because of the situation between her and my pops, and it's just like I always had the knowledge. I think me being the only girl and the oldest, I always just felt like, well, that's your relationship with that nigga, not mine. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm never going to shit on my father or like look at him any differently because of what y'all are going through. Like, that's still my dad. Like, I can't not like love him because of what y'all are going through. I pray that you get better. Like, I'm a kid. Leave me out of this. That you're my mom, you're my dad, and that's just really it. But it's just a heavy thing in our community where women will paint a narrative that make kids really look at their father like a real joker. And I've heard my father say, like, I had to wait till y'all get older to see some shit for yourself. You know what I mean? And that's a real tough thing to hear your pop say. You know what I mean? So that's just really it. That's a cute little. That's anything you want to say on that?
No, I was just gonna say that I feel that our generation is more like the healing generation. We're more aware.
Yes.
We understand that certain traumas did come up from our parents, and we do the work so that we don't keep doing the same thing when we do end up having kids. You know, like I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna see, because I feel like my parents, they would like frown upon therapy.
Right.
Like they just weren't into it. Whereas now people are like, you should probably get a therapist. It wouldn't hurt to get some therapy so you can get over your
and also like Latin and Black communities rely heavy on the Bible. So they think that the answer is prayed away.
Yeah, I'm about to say we turn to religion instead of turning to getting actual help. You know what I'm saying? Like we turn to asking for help, you know what I mean, and religion and praying on it, which is still good to do, you know what I mean, but it's like you have to do the work, you know what I'm saying, like, so, you know, the Bible says, you know, you take one step, he'll take 2 for you, but you have to take a step, you know what I mean, in
God
order.
only helps those who help themselves,
exactly, you know what I mean, like, so so I agree with that.
Well, we thank you for that 2 cent topic. I don't want to keep you here any longer. I know you got a studio session.
I'm actually headed to the studio.
We got you something for your studio session.
Okay.
I know Tequila is your favorite. I'm sorry at the Instacart I replaced it with something a little less than what I wanted. Sorry, I'm over here eating. But where's that? This is for you.
Oh, you're incredible.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
No problem. I hope that inspires you to get some work done today. And get the, you know, I know you're a huge tequila drinker, and I hope that you enjoy
Wait, hold
that.
on. What's your favorite tequila?
My favorite is Casamigos.
Yo, it was the hardest to find on a Sunday in LA. Yo, they're so I'm telling you, yo.
They're like literally, they're like so. Anytime I go to Costco or something like that, I'll get like a bunch of them because I know how hard.
I actually got you a bottle for your birthday.
Yeah.
You got drunk it somewhere. It was drunk somewhere. Your cousin Lanisha's a heavy pourer, yo. She had us bent, yo. We were bent, yo. We were bent. But just for those who aren't familiar with your music, give them 3 songs you would tell them to start, a little starter pack for you.
Yeah, Better Days for sure. Something More, and
you gotta pick one and get you in the bag. Get in the bag.
Yeah. And honestly, probably Favorite Nigga. Like that's like one of my favorite songs on the album. So
I think we agree.
So yeah, Better Days, Something More, and Favorite Nigga. Those would be the 3.
Yeah, I agree with those.
Yeah.
I agree with those.
And what are your socials? Like, where can people find you?
ReasonTDE at everything, on everything. Besides TikTok right now, I'm trying to get acclimated with it. But I'll actually probably be like launching an official TikTok probably in like 2 weeks. Like I said, we've been planning on trying to figure out how I can do certain things without compromising. So yeah, but ReasonTDE on pretty much everything.
All right, so give us a little review on your time here at this podcast. Did you have fun?
This is fun. I like conversational. I don't really like to call them interviews. Like when I feel like I'm in an interview, I don't like it because then it's like I feel like you're just asking me questions and I'm just answering them.
One last question.
Yeah, no, it's good. I just mean like the transition of
Where is
this
good Chinese
food
food in LA? Because you said that there was good Chinese food, and I'm still have yet to find it. So.
It'd be like the hood spots, but a spot that have you been to Volcanoes?
Volcanoes, no.
Yeah, Volcanoes is really good. Yeah, it's really, really fire. So that's a very, very good like Chinese spot. It's one of my favorite restaurants. But they sell sushi too. It's like
cool.
Sushi and kind of like Chinese food.
Okay.
But it's really just like the hood spots. Like there's a China Express that's in Carson off of University. Like that's really, really fire.
I gotta pass Carson on my way back. So
yeah, it'd be like the little hood spot. It'll be called like China Express or like it'll be like a fish shop that they sell Chinese food. It's so
Chinese
weird.
food and donuts.
Yeah, like it'll be the craziest shit. Like they'll sell fish and Chinese food. Like it's wild. But yeah, you gotta just like when you in like certain cities, LA, Compton, different things. Like if you see a little Chinese spot, like you gotta try those spots. The restaurants outside of Volcanoes aren't that great. Like the Asian cuisine restaurants is very Americanized and it's not really good.
Mall Chinese food.
Exactly. But Volcanoes is really good though.
All right, I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah, there's one down the street from there.
Yo, Reason, this was amazing. This is epic for me. I really appreciate this. This was a blast.
Yeah,
this morning, it worked out. Literally, there was somebody behind us that was supposed to record, and they ended up canceling. So, like, everything just like
I literally
the universe worked.
She was like, nothing's working out.
And I sent him the voice note.
Everything's gonna be okay.
I was like, no, I don't think this is real.
I'm like, just get to the location safe. Just if they're safe, we'll figure it out.
But this was super, super dope. Y'all tune into Reason's music, tap into his music, because I'm telling you, like, if you are a fan of any like, you can't listen. I promise you, Kendrick, J. Cole, X, fucking. Who's your top 5 West Coast rappers right now?
West Coast rappers right now, Boogie. It's a dude named AZ Chike. He makes like turns up ratchet LA music, but I fuck with it. Kaz. Who else? It's a lot of them, but it's probably Boogie, Kaz, AZ Chike, AZ Sway. They're like in a group together or whatnot. And I'm naming newer guys, of course, you know, the Kendrick Lamars and whatnot. And probably Vince. Like I really like.
Yo, I was gonna say Vince gotta be in there. Is Vince from Carson too?
No, he from Long Beach.
Okay, that's what I was saying. I was saying somebody look. I think Vince is from Carson. I said no.
Yeah. But they're literally like neighbors.
That's why I said they're literally very close to each other.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Reason, thank you for doing this. I want you to get to the studio so you can have music before my birthday. We go to Joshua Tree. So I hope we get to do this again with you. This was super, super dope. Yo, I appreciate this more than you freaking know.
Yeah, no problem. And I apologize about I'm awful with my phone.
Listen,
so
it's fine.
I tell everybody I
speak.
I tell everybody, don't feel bad about triple texting me.
No, it was fine. I was like, I said, okay, 7 o'clock. Just hit them with the question marks and just But then I knew I was like, it's a game. It's a game. It was a game day.
Exactly.
So
yesterday it was like a holiday.
Yeah. So congrats with that, and congrats with all your success and just being a super dope artist. And I know like this will definitely, I know you'll be surprised how many of my homeboys from New York really fuck with your music. Like it's like a lot of my homeboys, the reason like they knew, like, so when they see this shit, I'm gonna be that. But thank you so much for stopping in. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Zulema.
And
I'm Reason.
Yo, this was super dope, y'all. Bye.
Bam.
Turn to Machiavelli like I'm speaking the pot. The return of Machiavelli like I'm speaking the pot.